Hey guys! So, in today's video, I'm gonna talk about lightsabers. Yeah! So from time to time, after my friends watch my videos and they see me with these custom sabers, they're like, oh, should I go for a stunt saber or a saber with sound? And normally off the bat, I'm like, that's easy, sound. But then I actually really started thinking about it. There are specific reasons why you would go for sound, and there are specific reasons you would go for stunt. And then I realized, oh my god, it's actually not as easy as I thought. So today I'm going to show you guys two of my sabers that you've probably already seen by now. And I'm gonna go over reasons or pros and cons on each. Now, besides the fact that there's stunt and sound, there are like a lot of aspects to owning a custom lightsaber. You know, there are many things to consider. So I might make this into a mini series, but in today's video, or should I say episode 1, we're gonna dive into stunt and sound sabers. Now, some of you can argue my Force Effects vs custom sabers is technically episode 1, and you know what? I was about to retitle it. But after thinking about it while going for a drive, I decided, you know what, the series will really just be based on custom sabers. Like, Force Effects lightsabers are great, and I explain why they are in my Force Effects vs custom saber video. But when it comes to custom sabers from different companies, all that stuff, there are a lot of factors, a lot more factors than like a Force Effects. So yeah, alright, without further ado, let's get on with the video. Today, I will be using my Liberator V3 as the stunt saber and my Prophecy V3 as the saber with sound. I love both of these sabers, but sometimes I use either of these lightsabers for different purposes. And honestly, both do their job pretty well. Let's start with the Liberator V3. Here's my Liberator V3, my very first custom saber. If you're wondering what stunt saber means, basically it has no sound and is only light. Now, there are several reasons why you would go for a stunt saber. Battery life lasts longer, as the only electronics just consists of the LED itself. More cheaper than a sound saber, as there's less in it. More durable in a sense, as you don't risk damaging any soundboards as they are non-existent. Not as complicated as a sound saber, literally just press the button for on and off. More ideal to bring to cons such as Supernova, Comic-Con, etc. Now, the last point may confuse some of you, so let me justify. In my opinion, you're better off bringing a stunt saber to a convention because, as I mentioned in the list, battery life lasts longer, and honestly, if you had sound, nobody is really going to hear it unless you're really right up to them. Conventions can get loud, especially when there is music and in general everyone just talking, yelling, etc. It's less of a hassle also, as you won't be changing the batteries as much as I did when I was at Nova, and more likely than not, you'll be taking photos, and you're not going to be able to hear the picture, basically. Of course, I'm not against taking a sound saber to a con or something. In fact, I did, but I feel you'll have an easier time with a stunt saber than a sound saber at a place like Supernova. And with the battery life, I've changed these batteries sometime 2 weeks ago, and as you can see, the blue lightsaber is showing some struggle by flickering, while the green saber seems to be holding up. This is because the sound saber uses more power than the stunt, as mentioned before. Okay, now here's my Prophecy V3, my first saber with sound. Unlike the stunt saber, obviously this one has sound for both turning on and off, clashing, and a bit of a motion sensor that gives it more of an effect. Here are some of the reasons why you may go for a saber with sound. Gives the saber more personality, making it more enjoyable to play with. Flexing rights, to show off pretty much. More of a collector's item to get more of an accurate replica or prop from the movies. To be able to make your saber even more customizable by editing the font of the sounds. And overall, just way cooler to have. Like I said, in my opinion, having a saber with sound for me gives it more personality and can be more enjoyable than a saber without sound. There are endless sound fonts you can give your sabers, but I've never customized mine, and I've always went with the Obsidian Light soundboard from Ultra Sabers to save on cash, so I can't really say much else. It can be more expensive, but I've said this before in previous videos, definitely worth it for me as it feels more of a lightsaber than a stunt saber. Some even argue that stunt sabers are practically just a glorified LED torch, which in a way is true, I suppose. Dealing with sound sabers can just be a bit more of a risk, as depending on how hard you hit it, it can damage the soundboard. But these are still pretty durable, so you should be fine overall. And speaking of which, dueling sabers with sound can be a whole other level than dueling with stunt sabers, as you obviously get the sound effects, giving you a more Star Wars-y experience, if that makes sense. The sounds of custom sabers can be of very high quality, and I can't stress it enough, definitely worth it if you're looking into it. Overall, it really comes down to personal choice whether you go for sound or stunt, but hopefully this video gives you a better idea on what you actually want. My personal preference would obviously be sound, but I do appreciate stunt sabers a lot and favor them sometimes over a saber with sound. Now, as I said in the beginning of this video, there are still many aspects to custom sabers, and deciding whether to get sound or not is just the beginning, and I hope to touch on other aspects such as blades and hilts in another video. As always, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon, and I'll see you in the next video.